Hey everybody, movie reviewer next door here, and I'm back with another review. Yeah, it's another bad one. Tonight I watched Siberia. If that's not the poster you recognize for this movie, it may be. There you go. This boring ass poster. This is a suspense thriller. Sorry, I'm readjusting the color. Uh, Directed by Matthew Ross. From 2018, starring Keanu Reeves, Anna Ularu, and Pasha Lichnikov. Uh, in this film, Lucas, a diamond trader who travels to St. Petersburg to arrange a sale, discovers that his Russian business partner has left his hotel and gone to a small Siberian village. So Lucas also heads there to try to find him. So, what did I think of Siberia? Well, it's trash. I fucking hated it. Now, hot take here, guys. I'm not a fan of film noir stuff that feels like it's stuff like The Killers. The Killers film with Lee Marvin, with John Cassavetes, with Angie Dickinson, with Ronald Reagan as the villain. I did not like that movie because it felt like there wasn't any story. I feel like a lot of film noir type of stuff is mostly just dragging out its plot and saying, like, oh, it's a methodical pacing. There are films that I have loved that have done methodical pacing right. Dragged Across Concrete, for instance, I think does the methodical pacing right. It is not a film I can just watch at any time because it is almost 3 hours. But if you're gonna do an almost 3 hour movie, do it in that way where it's tense as fuck for most of the film, and the last literal hour of that film or last 40 minutes of that film is like insanely intense. It still is. Um, but films like The Killers, where it just feels like, well, first of all, it felt like a play, um, a bad one, and a lot of the acting in them is overdone, and they try to wax poetic and it just really doesn't work. This film is trying to do that with horrific results because Keanu Reeves is not. Let me just get to the cast. Keanu Reeves as Lucas Hill. I like a lot of Keanu Reeves films. I think The Matrix is decent. I don't think it's good or great or amazing. I think it's a decent film. John Wick Chapter 1, it's great. John Wick Chapter 2 is okay. John Wick Chapter 3 is awesome to me. Matrix Reloaded was my favorite Matrix. I really like Reloaded. I think Revolution sucks. I think it's fucking boring. I hate the CGI. Um, Speed is a great action film. Point Break is very mid. It's just okay for me. I love Constantine. I've always loved Constantine and will always love Constantine. Uh, what else? I like Johnny Mnemonic. I still have to watch the director's cut. But like, yeah, clearly I really like him as I like films that he's in. It's not mostly usually for his performance because he's not a great actor. Here he is not good. He is not. He There are people in reviews saying that he's showing off his range. I really don't see it. Um, I think he had more of a range and speed. Um, and yeah, he's just a boring and unlikable main character because of so many things he allows to happen. Anolaru is Katya. She's this woman that Lucas cheats on his wife. Yes, his wife with. She's one of the better actors in the film. She's pretty decent, I will say, if I can give this film credit at all. Because, again, if anybody actually knows me, they know that I'm not trying to be cynical. I'm not trying. Um, I was expecting a good movie. Um, but again, with this character of Katya, if you've seen the film, they should have given more character to this character than just, oh, she's sex hungry. Pasha de Lishnikov, who plays Boris Volkov. Apparently, he was in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Air Force One. I remember him in Air Force One, and A Good Day to Die Hard. Oh, and Follow Me. He was in. Okay, he was one of the evil. He was the evil Russian dude in Follow Me. Okay, Follow Me or No Escape. Yeah. Um, as Boris Volkov, he's kind of the main villain. He's okay, but this is the definition of a film over bloating its runtime with nothing. And the thing is, like the first half of this movie feels like it's a slow burn that would pay off later. But a lot of stuff that happens in the first half has literally nothing to do with the rest of the plot. The main plot is about this main character, Lucas, is a diamond like seller, a diamond seller, I think. This film is really confusing and really dumb in the way it does this. And he's supposed to like transport these diamonds to this Russian mobster who will then allow him to go back into the country free or whatever, or go back to his wife. And along the way, he picks up Katya and they start having a love affair. And I, I shit you not, there are 8 sex scenes between Keanu and her in the film. 8. Most films, like this isn't a romance film. It's not. It's a neo-noir thriller. It's barely a thriller. It's fucking boring. But even erotic thrillers don't have that many sex scenes. I swear there's a film called Sliver, which is like one of the sexier, I'd say, erotic thrillers because Sharon Stone and William Baldwin were two very attractive people at that time and the sex scenes were kind of hot. Um I didn't count the sex scenes in that, but I swear there were less than 5. This film has almost twice as many as a fucking erotic thriller, which the whole point of them was to be like, oh, we're showing these certain actors nude. You get to see Sharon Stone's ass and William Baldwin's ass. And that was the whole point. Part of it, at least. Here, every time there's a sex scene, it's just like, why do we need to see this? Why? Is there a reason? Is there a motive? Is this going to tie into the film? There's literally a sex scene where before it, she's like, do you bring your wife gifts whenever you go out to another country and come back? And he was like, no, I'm not that type of person. She was like, what a terrible husband, that whole thing. And then she's like, I'm gonna ask you something. I want you to fuck me under one condition. You fuck me like I'm your wife. And it's like, it's uncomfortable in the worst way possible where it's, there's an even worse scene later on. If anybody has seen this film, there is a scene between Lucas Hill and Boris Volkov involving Katya going there on her own and being involved in a bonding thing. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about, and I think they were trying to be tense. I think the scene was supposed to be intense or heartbreaking or something, but I'm sorry. I have been given no reason to give a shit about either Katya or Lucas because they barely have characters other than, oh, they love to have sex. Oh, wow, what a great character. And it's just so insulting to my intelligence that they're like, "Oh, you're you're falling into our trap of caring about these characters that have no story to them, no character. They just feel like blank fucking slates." And if they don't feel like blank fucking slates, Lucas is a terrible person, cheating on his wife, trying to leave Katya, and like basically kill himself. Like he's such a terrible person, yet I'm supposed to care about him. And all of this film, the main plot takes place in about 20 minutes. This is an hour and 45-minute film. Hour and 40 without credits, whatever. There's like three different opening credit scenes in this film, but literally the main plot of the film takes place in like 20 minutes. And I'm not saying all at once. I'm saying the time that Boris and Lucas are on the screen together is when there's actual plot happening, and the actual plot is fucking boring because it's the same thing you've seen over and over again. It's like, oh, they're checking the validity of the diamonds that he brought, and we found out earlier that the diamonds were fake and they're perfect replicas as long as he doesn't have a seismometer or whatever. And then, oh, shock of all shocks, he has a seismometer. And then he uses the whole thing of like, a brother means a different thing in America. And then he's like, uh, the seismometer guy insulted Keanu or something. And then he tells the seismometer guy to go away because he believes Keanu. And then the payment goes through. And it's just like, if you think I sound confused, it's because I am. This film takes a lot out of you. It really does. Like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on is a big issue with this film. Trying to figure out when something is going to happen. And this is one of those films that just drives you nuts because, yes, I laughed at it at many points. I yelled at the TV screen at at the ending. And if you know what the ending is, you know why I did that. It makes no fucking sense and it's stupid. Uh, just Keanu is not good in this. He really isn't. He can't even save it. I just don't know what else I can possibly say in favor of this film other than like again, the two things I will say are pros. These are the two pros of the film. Ana Ularu did a decent job. Her acting was way better than Keanu's in this. And the musical score from Daniel Benzi and Sonder Jurians uh, was pretty decent. It was. It was pretty atmospheric. It had a nice like bongo beat to it at times. It worked for the setting and for the tone of the film. Other than that, this film is like I guess technically it's made okay, but it's like it's just so it boggles the mind how Keanu got involved in this because this feels like I'm not gonna say like Keanu's better than this or whatever, but because I'm first of all, I don't love Keanu as an actor, but like this is just even if he wasn't in it, even if it was like an amazing actor, I don't think an amazing actor could even bump this up that much because it's just a terribly written, terribly acted, terribly executed premise. It could work, but like it's just like well, I I hated this. If you've seen the film Siberia, let me know in the comments what you thought. Movie review next door out.